Hello, this is Meiju. I am again podcasting from my temporary workplace, as you can see. This is my last day here for now, but I'm coming back for a few days in the end of May and in the beginning of June. Today's episode is about this shawl. Last time that I did a podcast, I wore a microphone with a shawl. It was a different shawl than today, and the microphone got some distractions from my shawl. I don't know what is, but let's hope that this goes better this time. I try to a little bit move the wire here that I have. So anyway, today's episode is about this shawl. I'm going to tell you more about it pretty soon. If you are new to my channel, I suggest that you will see some other episodes that are probably longer than this. Shortly, my name is Meiju. I live in Helsinki, Finland. As said, I'm now in my temporary workplace. I usually make podcasts from home, but this is my temporary workspace for this summer that I have rented. I have been designing knitwear about 10 years. I'm currently making a book for Line magazine, and I'm currently kind of full-time knitwear designer. I decided to leave my other obligations because of the book deadline, but let's see how my life goes in the fall. Earlier this year I quit my day job just to make new stuff, to make knitwear, more knitting patterns and knitwear designs, and try something new in my life. But now I'm full-time knitting bookmaker, since almost all of my time goes to that knitting. Today I'm wearing my Tammila Shawl, which is a new design. I published this yesterday, and I will put some photos here in the beginning of video and here as I speak. I have a little rash on my neck. I still have it. It was a month ago when a bug bit me in my ear, and it got infected, and I still have some problems about it, and that's why I'm wearing shawl covering my neck, so you wouldn't see my little rash that I still have. I hope it's better now, but I still hope that it will go away completely, and I'm still waiting that. What I'm wearing today is my Orne cardigan. This is something that I designed for Knit Scene magazine a few years back, and it's also available as individual purchase on my Ravelry store. I have worn this a lot. This is one of my absolute favorite cardigans that I have, and it's sport weight. We have a really lovely day today here in Helsinki. It's almost feels like summer. It's 25 degrees, but because I'm sitting indoors, and this is how do you say in English? The house is made of stone. It's stone house or brick house. Bricks, made of bricks. I mean that it's still cold inside here. So even if it has been two really summery days, almost 25 degrees Celsius, it's still cold here inside. so that's why I'm wearing that much wool. Anyway, this is really nice, simple cardigan. It has brioche panels, and otherwise the back and the sleeves are stockinette stitch. It's really simple if you are a beginner brioche knitter. It's perfect project for that, because you don't have to do any increases or decreases during the brioche stitches. You just make 2 panels with stockinette stitch, so that's really simple cardigan to make. And it's open front, there are no buttons, and no. If you want to attach it with something, you can always put a pin here or something like that, but I like to keep it quite very open and like that. Okay, then about this Tammila shawl that I'm wearing. The name Tammila shawl comes from tammi. Tammi is in English it's oak, an oak, and Tammila is kind of a village with oaks in Finnish. So it's something that I made up because of the stitch pattern that I used here. I'm hoping that the microphone doesn't disturb with my handling this shawl, but kind of the stitch pattern that I use here remind me of those, I don't really know, but are those in, if you have oaks, they will drop those seeds with those things. So that's why this reminds me about those, and the color is also something that that remind me from oaks. Oak leaves in fall. So even though this is quite summery shawl, and I like the color choices that my test knitters did, they have more brighter or summer colors. I have autumn colors because these are the colors that I like. So this is the yarn that I used here is it is if I recall it right, it's Rouva Silmusolmi. It's Finnish indie dyer, merino silk yarn, and this is some Olan sock light yarn. So the yarns that I have used are different yarns, but you can use any kind of fingering weight yarn that have contrasting colors. So about this shawl, is crescent shape. It starts from the top with some cast on stitches, and then it's built with sections of this lace stitch pattern and the eyelet stripes that grow the shawl to its size. And this shawl has 2 sizes. One of my test knitter wanted to do a larger version, so I wrote also the larger version of this shawl. So the sample that I have, it's smaller one, and there is also instructions for the larger shawl. Okay, I had to cut the rest of the video away because the microphone got crazy. I decided that it really is broken, the microphone. I should get a new camera or new microphone, but I couldn't make it happen for this. But since I had to cut so many things that I wanted to still say on that video, I have to make a retake here at my home. And as you can see, this is not so lovely environment as my workspace. What is the curtain is hanging there. It's ugly and it's kind of, but I have to keep it like that because of the light for now. Yeah, the things that I said and I had to cut away from that video were that this Tammila Shawl that I'm still wearing, the pattern is charted and also written out, so if you don't want to read charts, you can always read the written pattern. Either way, I'm trying to write all the charts out, at least for my shawl patterns. But usually, sometimes for the sweater patterns, I don't want to write the charts out because that would make me that I would have to write, for example, each size in a different text. So I usually don't do that for sweaters. Also, this pattern is translated. Also, this pattern is translated in German. I have now some of my new patterns come in different languages. The Viljanin cardigan that will be published in later this month will also come out in French, German, Finnish, English, so 4 languages for that pattern. Of course, I can only give you pattern support in English, so that's something that I always write on the description of the pattern in English and Finnish because I'm Finnish-speaking girl. Yeah, I don't speak German that well that I could give pattern support in German. Then something that I have to cut out. I have made a blogging video in which I show how I block my garments or shawls or everything, and I have been trying to find time to edit that video, and because it's there is no speaking in that video, I have only the footage. I should speak over the video, but I haven't had time to find. I haven't found time to do that. So that's why I talked about blogging quite a long time on that different video and on that earlier video that I did take. So I'm trying to now talk you through how I blog, and I will put the video with music in the end of the blogging video with the music with no speech in it in the end of this video, so you will see what I mean when I'm trying to explain here. So how I blog, I will for shawls and sweaters, I will soak them in lukewarm water for 20 minutes. I feel that the garments have to be soaked because the memory of the wool kind of is reprogrammed in that soaking. So the stitches kind of rest there in that water, and it opens up the wool much more easily. Then I squeeze the excess water in a towel, and then I just, using pins, I will pin the shawl in its shape. For this shawl I followed the shape that the lace pattern in this border would automatically do, so I pinned for each for this lace shape. And I didn't use any blocking wires this time. I have blocking wires, but they are so bad and old, so I try to not to use them regularly. So pins were enough. I don't have any fancy blocking mats at my home. I just block over our living room carpet. I usually put some towel or some blanket over the top of the carpet, but I still usually I block only over the carpet. I don't have any blocking mattress, and it's woolen carpet also. It's just fine, and the excess water doesn't kind of go into that carpet because I have something between the carpet and the shawl or the sweater. Then I pin the shawl in its shape, and I lay it flat until it's dry, and and then I just take the pins out on the next day, and the shawl is really lovely, kind of the wool it's not crumpy and crinkle anymore. It's flat and lovely and airy. So blocking is something that you always have to do for your knit garments and things, so they will look professionally nice. Okay, that was the things that I did say on that previous video. I think I talked about how efficient I can be in that workspace. When I was there the last time, I translated a few patterns in Finnish that I had first written in English. Then I think I put at least 3 patterns for test knitting. I wrote 1 pattern for my book. I almost knit 1/4 of that pattern. It's lovely because there are no distractions. I can calculate my stitches and numbers, and no one stops me, tells me, "Mommy, make food," and I can continue as long as I want, and then I can eat whenever I want. So that's something that I really needed for this phase when I'm making the book. And I have some sessions there in the end of May and in the beginning of June, but we'll see how that goes. I think I'm now, I was a bit worried before I went there because I had so much things to do, and I managed to do those things, and I now feel that I'm in schedule with the book, and I'm in schedule with other things. I'm also dreaming about making a mystery knit along in the fall, but let's see how that goes. I'm not promising anything. I'm just dreaming about it. Well, that's all for today. I don't think that I'm able to make a video next week because I have so much pattern writing to do for the book, but I'm hoping to make another video when I'm back in that workspace and I have more time to concentrate just for me and my book. Today I have a wedding day with my husband. We are going to eat outdoors. The corona restrictions here are somewhat well, what comes to eating outdoors, the restaurants are now open, I think, at 6 p.m. and they have to close after that, and now they are for 7 p.m. so we can go outdoors. We have a really lovely corner restaurant there, and we are going to eat out there. Hopefully the weather is so good that we can eat outdoors, so that's better what comes to safety distance and everything. So that's all for today, and see you again whenever that is, hopefully in the end of May. Bye!